Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bumbershoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart. And hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're going to start a new season. This is going to be, we haven't really announced official seasons, but this is going to be season 3. And it is going to be interviews with Charity for Charity Beneficiary members, family members.
I love this.
Yeah,
so
we've given everyone like a background and history of Charity for Charity, and now it's time to introduce some of our special peeps. Yeah, go ahead. What are you doing?
The light. Turn that off.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we can talk in here. We're real. I know so I just recorded a podcast because we borrowed the studio, and I said, well, my podcasts were very transparent. But with yours, I got to not do that. So I have to be very good. Like, I can't be myself. I almost wanted to trade places with him. So I was uncomfortable. Yeah. But we made it fine. It was okay. So the background you heard Ramone. Ramone is our little Lily Bear's dad. And so they're beneficiary family. And I'm going to get to Ramone in just a minute. But I wanted to share with you guys something incredible. So Rhonda and I went to Branchella this weekend.
Oh my God, it was so much fun.
So Brandy that we had on the podcast, who owns Old Town Ranch and Stampede and who is hosting the Way Out West Fest for Charity for Charity. Do we get enough names in there?
Yes.
She has Branchella. So her birthday parties are festival. It's a festival. So she got she did a festival and now she's going to do the Wow Fest. But it was incredible. The stage was like a full-on concert stage, full on
Morgan Wallen
size concert stage.
So that's what it will look like for
that's not the
it's
I go, is this our stage? They're like, no, not this one. But anyway, so today, it was cool because we got to see kind of how the setup, she set up a little bit like how we're going to do it and stuff for the Wow Fest. But we went back today to meet and look over the layout of everything. And when we first met with them, they said, we have a production company, so we can handle the production. That was a very big expense for the Wow Fest.
Huge.
I can't tell you I don't want to say specifically, but it was in the 5 digits of how much the production costs.
Wow.
Because and that didn't include, so Pelzer had the stage, but we had to bring in more stage, and that was an expense on top of this production price.
Wow.
So when Brandy and Ken said, we have a production company, we were like, oh, cool. So she's like, we'll save you a lot of money on that. But she threw out a price that was a quarter of the price, and I was like, ready to cry because that's amazing.
She's such an angel. She made me cry when she was here.
I know. That's what I told her today. Yes. I said, wait till I tell Rhonda.
Oh God,
then they have a rental company. So they have party rental company. So they have the porta potties and the chairs and the tables and the lights and all these things.
All the things.
So today when we were talking about logistics, and Brandy was still coming off of her party. She had a long weekend. It was funny because Ken was doing all the talking today, and she was not as talkative today. I was like, oh, you look a little sleepy, girl.
Same.
She's like, yeah, I'm coming off the party. They stayed up till 7. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All that to say, so Ken was doing all the talking. He doesn't really talk much. And so we were talking about the logistics and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, when we were talking about lighting and the stage and this size of the stage and all of these things, we knew that it was going to be a quarter of the cost for the stage or for the production part, I'll say, which was such a great blessing in and of itself. But then we were talking about all the other things we would need. And at the end of the day, really what happened was Ken said, I said something about pricing, and then Jen said something about pricing, and Ken goes, no, we're going to donate 100%.
I just got the chills. Oh my God.
I did too.
I'm like,
no way.
No. That's not what we agreed to, you guys. That's not what we agreed to.
They're amazing.
Wow. You guys, no. And he goes, no, we're going to donate it. And I was like, so that was really loud. I got tears in my eyes and I said, oh my gosh, wait till I tell Rhonda. She's like, you made her cry last time.
God.
Jen got tears, Allison, we were just like, and then we didn't really know what to say. We just kind of stood there like, we didn't know what to say. We were so grateful. And I'm like, wow, God is so good.
They're so generous. Wow. That's amazing.
Right? That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, it's
blown
just
away.
so cool that God led us to them. And just really great.
Angels, for sure.
Anyways, that was 5 minutes too long because I know
Heaven
this is
sent.
going to be a good one with Ramone. So I want to get right to it. So
Thank you, Brandy.
Yes,
Just wanted
thank you,
to say
Brandy.
real quick. Thank you so much,
Yes, thank you,
Brandy.
Brandy.
And
Old Town
Ken.
Ranch. What is it?
Stampede
I want
owner.
to say, I want to say all
Old
their
Town
businesses,
Ranch.
but I'm not. I'm going to bring them. We'll bring them back. I'll bring all the businesses. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it's Morningstar Productions. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, but yeah, so we're gonna get right to Ramone, and thank you for coming, Ramone.
No, thank you, Charity.
Hi, Ramone.
Yeah.
Good to have you in
Tracy,
here.
it's so cool to see this in real life. It's pretty rad in real life. This is
So,
super cool.
Ramone, you guys came to us 3 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so-
2022, right? Or no,
2000.
23.
I don't know. Usually the
I
Bennies
retired
know their
21.
years like by
I
heart.
feel like it was my
It's not
first
22.
year.
20, not 22,
not
23.
22.
It was 23.
23, 24, 25.
Yes,
So
it was
yeah, that makes
23.
sense.
23.
Because it was
Yes.
actually the 23rd, and then we had 24, and now we had the 25th.
Yes,
so
that's
that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, so 2023. And we, you came to us. Do you remember who nominated you guys or how you
I
came
do.
to us?
And it was total random happenstance. You know, it just God works in mysterious ways, right? It's just
Sure
crazy
does.
how it all works out. But it was Keston's father, Brandon Denhalter.
Right, that's a good
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
So another
I just-
beneficiary's dad was
randomly, let's check it out. Randomly, I'm at 511 store. I don't know if you know that it's tactical apparel store or whatever. Brandon was working there. And I went in there for the company I was working. You know, anyways, it was just this conversation that we began having. And something came up and I brought up Lily. And at this point, Lily had been diagnosed and she was in remission, and she had been in remission for a little while.
diagnosed with, go ahead and say what she was diagnosed with.
Precursor B, acute lymphoblastic leukemia. BALL. That's what BALL.
And Keston and Brandon's son had leukemia as well.
That's right. I think so. I can't recall exactly which. I think it was a different flavor.
It was a different flavor.
Yeah. But he, so Brandon and I are talking, and now I don't know who Brandon is, right? I have no idea that this connection being made here. I have no nothing of this. I'm just talking to him, and he's listening to me.
Talk about Lily.
We'll talk about Lily and talk about this kind of cancer journey that we've been on, you know. And I'll tell you, like, from a man, it's different. You know, I don't know. There is a difference
It's okay.
between man and
There
women.
is.
Right?
Oh, there's a difference between men and women?
Right? When it comes to, right, when you talk about emotions and
yes,
talking
yes.
about things like the feels, getting to the feels, right? I think it's a bit of a more challenge for men to kind of
Yes.
do these kind of things. So, but not for me. Frankly, not for me. It's not. But
You're amazing.
but I feel like Brandon was like, we were kind of like vibing all of a sudden, and Brandon's like listening to me, and so I started opening up more because I didn't really have a lot of people at that time that were kind of, you know,
Could relate.
that would relate or you know even listen that long for that long. But he's like, dude, and then he starts telling me about Keston and his journey and his story, and I'm like, holy! At this point in our lives, like he was the very first father person that I had met with any journey that was similar to ours. So
Wow.
right away, I'm like, oh my gosh! Like I'm getting chills thinking about it today just because it was a powerful conversation. And this is like in the clothing section of a men's tactical fitness store or whatever. Right? It was so odd. It was so like random. Anybody walking in would be like, what in the
What are these
world is
dudes doing?
happening?
What's happening here?
And keep in mind, like Brandon's 6'6",
Right, you guys are
tatted
both
up,
huge
like,
built.
big dudes, right? It was just, it was really, it was pretty cool though. I thought it was pretty cool. But anyways, he tells me about this, and then, you know, he tells me about Keston, tells me about his family, and then he tells me about charity. He's like, have you ever heard of Charity for Charity? And at this point, I was newly retired from the Navy, and so I knew nothing. You know, I don't think a lot of people that haven't, just not in that
You haven't
world,
been
don't
through
know
it, yeah.
anything about it.
Right.
And then, you know, he's like, hey, you know, he didn't really tell me a lot, though. He kind of told me who you were, what was going on. And then he's like, here's my number. Let's exchange numbers and let's talk a little bit more, right? So, so be it. That's it. Like, that was kind of the end of our conversation. And then, Brandon, like, later I'm texting and I'm like, dude, like, that was really cool, man. Like, I appreciate you listening to me. I hadn't had the opportunity to really speak I mean, we were able to speak on every level of it, and he was relating to me, like one. My wife, when that level, and his between, him and his wife, and then Keston and the children, and all these things. Like, it was pretty wild how far we connected in just a short amount of time. And then he told me about charity, and then he's like, dude, I'd like to nominate you. This is kind of what happens. And Keston was selected, and I'd like to nominate you. And
That's so cool.
He shot me the website and was like, dude, fill out this application. And then, the rest is kind of history. at that
Wow.
point. Yeah.
What a blessing.
Yeah. Oh my
So
gosh.
cool.
And I just had
God is
no
just so
idea.
great. I mean,
Really
that
is.
encounter, just for you to have someone to talk to,
It's
was
everything sometimes.
alone a miracle,
Huge.
wonderful,
Absolutely.
beautiful thing. And then, so I usually make the phone calls, and I don't remember if I talked to you or Juanita. It might have.
I think you talked to me.
I might have been
Yeah, I
you
think
because you
talked
filled
to
out
me.
the application.
Yes.
Yeah. So I call and I tell them that they have been selected as one of our star beneficiaries. And so tell us about that. What that phone call's like? Because I know on my end it's a blessing, but I also know that everyone kind of gets taken and doesn't really know how to accept it.
And I remember it. I remember it well because it was when I talked to Brandon. Brandon tell me
The deets.
he didn't tell me the details, right? But he's just like, dude, like when charity comes calling, you answer the phone. All right, dude, like that's it. Like it was like this Italian mob rule or something. It was like, dude, you don't dodge charity calls,
Heck no.
right? Like so, I
Answer
knew
the
that. I knew that going into this, right? Like I got to do that. So then when you called, I was like, oh man! Right away, I pick up the phone and you told us this, and you told me this, and I mean, of course, immediately you're excited. Like, you're like, holy smokes, man. Like, I think we just got picked for something really big, dude. Like, that's how I kind of went to, that's how I kind of went to Juanita. I was like, I think this is going to be big, sweetheart. Like, I don't really know because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't really know when you're selected what the future kind of holds for you.
Right.
You don't really know. I mean, all I had was what, he had told me, like,
And the application asks, like, if you had a wish, what would it be? And it kind of,
that's right.
it
Yeah.
doesn't really give you the big picture.
And that's it. And then, in the interview, the meeting that we had prior to and things like that. I mean, I think that was that after or was that before?
So I call you and then we have you
and then
come
we
in.
have that. Okay, so we come in. So, I mean, at this point, really, to be honest, I think we were just kind of like, get ready for a wild ride. Like, that's kind of where, I mean, we're like that though. Like my family's kind of like very, I thrive on like adventure and I love bringing adventure to our family. Right. And so I think, when this happened, it was just like, oh man, this is all right. Like, here we go. We're just super pumped. Yeah. Super, super pumped.
So we explained to you a little bit of what you could expect, but I want to know. So when we meet with beneficiaries the first time, we explain who we are, what we do, and then we talk about Stars of the Valley, and that's the main event where they will get their wishes fulfilled on wish. We try to be subtle. Wish fulfilled at this gala where they're the stars of, and then we have a year. They sign, unfortunately, because legalities, we have to go there, and so they have to sign the paperwork. And we share with them that they have to be willing to share their stories. That's part of becoming a Charity for Charity beneficiary. In fact, we've had people decline because they don't want to share their stories. So it's not for everybody, but the people that do allow us to share their stories, the beautiful stories that come and the doors that open for them. So it's so much more than just wish fulfilling, and we've talked about that a lot. But you can't explain. You can tell them, this is what you can expect. We're going to dress you. You're going to walk down a carpet. You're going to go in. You're going to be loved on. We're going to bring you on stage. We can tell you, but I know it's it's something you can't explain as a spectator, even those of us that are involved in putting it on. We get to experience it from a totally different perspective. But none of us are beneficiaries. So give us a little bit of a perspective, like from you guys getting your tuxes size and then getting to the gala and kind of, even the overwhelming part. I mean, if there's anything that's like, wow, this was really overwhelming or, whatever, just kind of give us a little bit of your perspective.
Absolutely. That's a pretty, I think, hard thing to do when you're going through, when you're the beneficiary. Like you have something traumatic happen, like in our case, cancer for Lily. It is overwhelming. So many people come at you wanting to help, and it is a beautiful thing in nature. It is a wonderful thing. But in the beginning, it becomes so much. It is very overwhelming.
Yes.
It really is. And to be honest, I appreciate kind of the subtle way that you selected us. Like you didn't all of a sudden throw in our lap, you got all of these things at one time, because I know that then that becomes extremely overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because I think we felt like this in our first year, but on the other side of the coin of this, right, it is overwhelming. It's almost kind of a lonely time too, to be honest with you, because you feel like you're the only one going through this. But you know that you're not. We know that we're not. And we know that, but it's a very odd feeling you feel as a parent, especially when it's your child, right? And this whole fight for control that you no longer have, but you want, right? I mean, every human being
making
in the world,
decisions
right?
based
we all
on
want that in our life,
yeah,
right? Is some sense of a control and then having that gone. But I mean, so we were in a sense having to relinquish more control to you, right? And it was kind of odd. I mean, to be totally transparent, it was like,
absolutely.
In this time of us really trying to find control, we had to open up our hearts and say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to kind of give it away now, and answer that phone every single time you call, right? And tell Juanita that too. And I was like, babe, like we're gonna make room for this. There's a reason. There's a reason. I believe there's a reason. Obviously, there's a reason you came into our lives, and we're gonna make room for this. We're gonna make space for it, right? And so and Juanita and I had this discussion. I was like, when whatever comes down the pipe, we're going to go there and we're going to just embrace this opportunity, because that's what this is. This is, I think God, sends us a lot of signals. He sends us a lot of opportunities. He sends us a lot of ways, and it's up to us to decide which one we're going to take. And some people could say they don't want to be a part of this. And, I could see that. I could totally see that 100%. But then in this case, I felt like this was an opportunity sent to us. And I knew that we weren't going to miss it. Like we were going to take it, and we're going to make the most of every single time that this is in our we try to be at every single event ever since.
And you guys do it,
do our best, We
love it. We love it. You guys have just embraced the family, the sense of family and community that Charity for Charity is. So we love it. And when you're not there, it's like
somebody's
missing.
Where are they?
Yeah, like you're missing.
And we're just speaking to you right now, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking now. When you talk about the other families,
yeah.
Now that was. Holy smokes, when we went to the very first Christmas event, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, where am I? Like I'm crying the entire evening. It was my first time around everybody, and I'm literally like crying the entire evening. And I just like,
touching.
It's so touching, right?
Touching.
You got to be, if you're not a human being, like how do you not cry when you're surrounded by these unbelievable traumatic stories? But then on the other hand, it's this other side of like triumph and winning, like the energy that comes from these people, you feel it. And so it's almost and we were in just a tough time, right? We're going through our own thing. None of that matters anymore. Your pain doesn't seem to matter anymore. It's listening to everybody's wins and watching them physically see them win, right? Like physically, we're watching over the last 3 years. We've seen so many people just, Cameron doing things. He's climbing walls now and stuff, right? Like, there's just so many. Landis at the Harbor Cruise. It's like all of these things, I love it because it gives you an opportunity to separate yourself from the trauma that you're currently in and the sadness that you're feeling and see so much happiness and so much winning. Like I just love like fight to win, man. I'm always it's just it's like in our house. Like, we always are like, we're going to win. We're going to fight and we're going to win no matter what it is. Right.
Let's go.
5 times. We're going to win.
Yeah,
like we're going to do whatever it takes. And it's like, and so I would use them example, like we use other beneficiaries as examples.
I do, with my kids.
Like to Ivan, and they know who they are, right? And we have the magazine; it's up in our house, right? Like the dance, the gala, all of those things. That's all. Like our house is just covered by it, and it's these are all just images, right? These that trigger something else. Like I've been able to I think of memories, right? When you have like an emotion and an experience combined, it creates a memory in our lives, right? And I feel like with my sons at this age and Lily at this age, we're creating these by attaching charity for charity images, right? Charity, like all of the different events, all of the images, and bringing them together, and no longer talking about ourselves anymore, but talking about all the wonderful people that surround us.
Yeah. Wow, that's profound. You're like, I love how you worded so many things. Yeah. And I wish I was writing things down because you touched on about 3 things that I want to revisit. So I want to revisit Lily's moment at Stars because it wasn't on stage. It was on the dance floor. So we got to talk about that. I'm going to give you these bullet points. I want to talk about 5 times. And I want to talk about, shoot, I knew I was going to forget the third one. Okay, well, let's talk about those 2 things first. Okay, in whatever order you want.
Well, let's talk about the gala, right?
Okay.
Kind of chronological from the time we were notified to the gala. Getting the tuxes was awesome. By the way, I totally remember it because I was like, I just truly believe I'm like, and Juanita is totally gonna laugh at me so hard when she hears this, but I'm like destined to wear cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Like this is I feel it inside me, right? Like this is what I'm supposed to wear. And for that gala, I was like, babe, it's what I'm wearing. I don't care. Like there is no other. I'm wearing it. Like I'm wearing that. And I was like, well, I got to get my boots before the fitting. I'm going to wear a tuxedo. I got to get, so I was like, there was this, the stress, the only stress I had at this point was I got to get the right boots for the wedding. I got to get the right cowboy hat to go with this, right? And so
that's hilarious.
It was extremely exciting for me because I mean, the amount of confidence I felt I walked into that.
That is so awesome.
What's
Stars
the name
of the Valley? Or no, Friar Tux.
Friar Tux, dude.
Thank you, Friar Tux.
I'm telling you, I walked in like $1 million.
You got to be on point,
new
right?
boots and the hat. Anyways, but so we were ready.
Yeah.
And Juanita,
and excuse me, Friar Tux does sponsor all of the men's tuxes, all of our beneficiary men's tuxes. So shout out to Friar Tux.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Friar Tux.
They've been fantastic every single year. We've been there 3 years in a row now, right? And they've been fantastic
They're amazing.
every year.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic, right? Juanita getting her dress was fantastic. That your guys' gesture to help her get. I mean, it was just fantastic. And you do that every year for all of the mothers, to get them their dresses and stuff, which is just fantastic. It just because that's a stress for women, right?
Totally.
We all know this, right?
Sure.
I know this. Well, but yeah, and then the boys.
Then you're going to mention Lily's dress, right?
And Lily's dress. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So that was another just unbelievable moment where Jess, one of the Wish Brigaders, right? She approached us, and I mean, she's got so much energy. Let me tell you,
She's amazing.
With the biggest heart,
of course.
And the things that she was saying she was going to do for Lily, she was going to make her a Cinderella dress for the gala.
I did not know that.
She made that.
I didn't know that.
I was not in Wish
dress.
Brigade till after Lily's year.
She made this dress.
That's amazing. I did not know that.
Now in my brain, I'm thinking, make a dress. You understand what it takes to make a dress,
and to make it look good,
and to make it look amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
She's got skills. I didn't know she could do that.
Yeah.
She showed up with this dress at our home, and I mean, I was in tears. Juanita was. We were just like, this is unbelievable. It was absolutely beautiful. You guys remember? It was so
perfect.
beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It was.
So and that all came because again, we opened up our hearts and our ideas and our minds, and we just said we're going to embrace these opportunities. And she just came at us with this just unbelievable.
That
dress.
was just amazing.
And it was such a dream come true because at this point, she was 3, right? She just turned.
She had lost her hair,
she had lost her hair.
We really wanted her to feel pretty and princess.
Right. And she was still in this very princess stage of
loving all the princesses.
Loved every single princess there was. Wanted to be them all. So it couldn't have been more fitting for the gala.
It was so beautiful.
Perfection.
Yeah, it was. It truly was. And then so that's just the outfits to get there. But then then the gala itself. I'll tell you what, man. It was. We got there and we had some nerves, I think, a little bit of nerves, naturally, right?
Of course.
Anybody
And you didn't know what to expect.
Right.
You had a lot of family and friends there.
We had a lot.
You had about 50.
50.
Five tables of 10. Yeah. They
Oh
had
my gosh, I love the support.
Lots
Yeah.
of people.
That's
We had
amazing.
so many tables, so many friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a
tons of
blessing.
It truly was. And then, you know, you get up there and you're meeting, nobody really knows exactly who you are yet until you're announced, right? So you're just kind of walking around like, hey, how are you? Like, what's up? Nobody really knows who you are, right? I mean, but we had a lot of family and friends there, so it was fantastic. You know, we're just hanging out with them. But then, you know, and then the event comes, right, where Lily's, do you remember Lily's movie that we made?
Yes.
I know it was long.
It was.
It was long, but it was
good.
it was heavy duty, right?
it was
Yeah.
heavy.
It was.
But it's a special thing for you guys to present. Like it's kind of
was.
hard to go through probably, but then it's something
It was.
that
You know,
you have.
I look back at it
forever.
now and I love it. Like there was a time where all I could do was cry every time I watched it, but now I watch it and I just smile and I just love it now. But
Yeah.
that video was amazing, right?
was
And It was an
amazing.
amazing video.
Yeah.
And we're on stage up there, right? And I know Juanita, Scott just has this knack for taking pictures when you're at your worst crying face ever, right? Like, I think
Scott from Time Stood Still Photography.
every single time he got Juanita, she was just in the sob stage, right? And so it was a wonderful time. It was still wonderful, you know. But I mean, it was hard not to. I don't think it was a dry eye in the house, you know.
No,
I think when we
there
saw
was
that
not.
video,
Nope.
you know. So
Yeah,
and then you started like kind of granting the wishes, right? That's not all. After every wish, that's not all. Right?
Famous
There was
saying.
the famous charity saying, right? And we're like, there's more. Like, goodness gracious, there's more. There, you know, we ended up having the princesses there with us. You know, they came up on stage and they you know embraced Lily. And we got wonderful pictures. That was very special. It was very. And then, you know, you were like. And next, you know, last we're gonna send you guys to Turks and Caicos. And do you guys know that? Like that's where
Yes,
you're probably part of that, yeah. But goodness, I mean, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I mean, I'm traveled. I'd say I'm somewhat well traveled from the Navy, right? I went a lot of, but I never went to anywhere like Turks and Caicos. Like I didn't know what it was. I was like,
all inclusive
I've
family.
heard of this place. I've heard of this. I think it's you know. Blue water, you know. I'm just imagining it.
White
I'm
sand.
imagining it, right? But it wasn't until afterwards that then it was like the next day. We're like Turks and Caicos. We were sitting there just like, oh, I mean, just like, we were excited the evening of, but it wasn't until the next day that we truly saw
Sunk in.
Because now you're Googling, right? You're just like,
Yeah.
Turks and Caicos and this and that, and then I'm seeing all these.
Beaches, all inclusive
This is
resort.
where we're going. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
How
The
exciting.
kids are going bananas.
So awesome. I love hearing all this because you don't hear this. This is
Yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic. That was and then that just opened. I mean, and then you know, and then we don't even say any words. You know, that night we don't
You
say
said
anything.
thank you. I think we give
said
you a minute to say thank you. Yeah, but no,
that's
like
it.
real
Well,
thought because
no.
it's like you don't know what to expect, so it's hard to prepare a thank you.
100%.
But then I don't
Thank
want to
you.
not give everyone an opportunity just to say
And I
thank
think
you.
you dialed that in. I think it was dialed in perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
just
then,
a little brief.
And then to follow up the next year, right? Like
Yeah,
that's,
then we do testimonial.
Yeah,
and
that's-
you blew that
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
My God,
Yeah.
yes, you did.
That was no dry eye in the house
Oh,
for
man.
that.
That was-
But we that year, your year, we had it was the year we were doing Dancing with the Stars, and Anthony Kinn, he was choreographing the dance we did. So Dancing with the Stars of the Valley we did, and so we had dancers and local celebrities, and Anthony Kinn, who was local, now he moved. He worked with them all and dressed them all out, him and his daughter, Emery, who now travels with 50 Cent.
Nice.
So does Anthony, actually, too. But anyways, they choreographed these dances for all of the celebs with their professional dancers. And it was just for fun, but we had a celebrity judges panel, and he said he's friends with Derek Huff, so he said, well, I'll ask him. And so I don't get my hopes up anymore, because I've had people say a lot like, oh, I'll ask my celebrity friend, and then I don't know, celebrities are just a lot of times feel too important to make it a priority, I guess, and they don't show up. So I didn't hold my breath, but before the Dancing with the Stars, we did our paddle raise, which is called I think it's Shoot for the Stars. I don't know, Shoot for the Stars. I don't know, whatever it is. We do a paddle raise, and it's so Derek had arrived late, and I didn't know he was there until I was doing the paddle raise, and we started at $10,000. And Derek jumped. Well, he had come in for Lily's. He made it for Lily's whole presentation on stage. So he saw her video and the wish fulfillment. I think he saw the end of the middle one and then her whole thing. So then the $10,000 gets announced, and he jumps up with his paddle, and I run over to everyone that donates, and I give him a necklace and
a hug.
I ran over. I'm like, "Hi, Derek. I'm Charity. Thanks for being here." And I gave him a hug and thanks for sponsoring. And he was just all pumped. He was all excited. So he ended up showing up, which was amazing. And with his wife now, and they are just adorable, just amazing humans. And so they were both judges. And so we were doing the the Dancing with the Stars, but we had a little glitch. And in that little glitch, Derek says, "Hey, Charity, why don't I teach you the salsa?" And so he totally ad-libbed, and was that what you say, ad-libbed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he danced the salsa with me, and it was amazing. People thought it was rehearsed. It wasn't. It was
did.
totally on the spot.
Rehearsed.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I
To
swear.
this day, I still
No.
question that because you guys
I didn't even know it was
good.
coming. No.
You guys
good.
looked like 100% like
I
you
know.
guys had rehearsed that.
He's a
and-
very good leader, and my dad did the swing with me a lot, so I knew how to follow. Kind of, I know how to follow a little. I'm not a dancer, but Derek's so good. And so anyway, it worked out. And so then somebody said to me, "Charity, Derek wants to dance with the little girl, or the little girl wants to dance with Derek." I don't know. It was one way or the other. And I said, "Oh my gosh, absolutely." So I go over to Lily and I say, "You want to dance with Derek?" And she goes, "Mm-mm. I want to dance with my daddy."
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That is so cute.
And I was like,
Love
"Oh
that.
my gosh." And so what song did they play? I can't remember.
I totally remember the
My
dance.
Girl. I was
My
gonna
Girl.
say that, My Girl.
And she goes over, grabs Ramone, and they go out on the dance floor, and you would have thought they were rehearsed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I agree.
that
Yeah.
was-
So
Ramone
cute.
It was the
so
most
sweet.
adorable moment of that
So
year.
we were-
Seriously.
We were sitting there. Now, okay, so that's wonderful to hear from your perspective.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm on the other side, and we're sitting there, and we're out on the floor. You're sitting on the side there, and I see everything happening. And Lily, the entire time the dancing was going on, she didn't sit in a chair. She sat on the floor next to Jess's little girl.
Yes, Morgan.
What is it?
Morgan?
Morgan, yes. Well, she's sitting next to Morgan, and she's just enamored by everybody dancing. She just absolutely loves dancing. And now, Lily's 3 at this point, right?
Yeah.
She's not who she is today. Like
Yeah,
today,
totally.
she's dancing, but
Yeah.
then,
Exactly.
she's just there and she's watching. And then she comes to me and she's like, "Daddy, I want to go sit with Charity." And I said, "Okay, go for it." And that's when she scurried across the dance floor over to you. And then, man, I'll tell you. So I didn't know all of that, right? Now you get up
Yep.
with the mic and you make this big announcement to everybody.
I tell
and then
everybody
you're
what
like,
Lily wants.
what? I mean, it looked so rehearsed. It was crazy, but not one single element of it was rehearsed. It
No.
was truly just.
And she led you. She
know.
told you what to do, right?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
wanted you to pick her up
so
and twirl her
The
around.
moment went like it was so picturesque, right? I mean, we
really,
met in
really
the middle
is.
of the dance floor. I picked, we started dancing, we started going, and I mean, it truly there's I think every father in their life has these moments that they'll remember forever.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
like their
It's usually a father-daughter
moment.
dance.
Right? And it's a
I mean, at their
father-daughter
wedding.
dance,
Yeah,
right?
not
And
when
I've
they're
seen,
3.
at their wedding or
Yeah.
something, right? And, I've seen it forever with my boys. I have my moments with my boys, but obviously nothing to this level. But I mean, there was a moment, I think, when her and I started that, man, I'll do my best not to get emotional right now, but seriously, it didn't seem like, I can honestly feel like and say like I didn't see a single other person in the room. Like I truly, Lily and I were at such a moment and where we were so connected, I think, in time that when she said, "Lift me up, Daddy," or "I want to do this," or we just spun, we just did our things, it was truly like, I mean, and I don't know. She's got some showmanship in her. I know she does. She was, you remember she was like,
Oh,
kicking
she
her
lifted
leg
her
out,
arms
right?
up. She was
lifting
like,
her arms. She was,
What is
but it was
that movie?
such a-
Dirty Dancing? Well, not
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing, but she was
Yeah.
like doing the...
Was it Titanic?
The lift.
But it
Oh,
was-
the lift.
Kind of,
Oh,
yeah.
the lift
the
from.
lift.
Yeah.
But when I did that with her, I'm telling you, like, for me, it was like she was talking to me, It was almost like this. I mean, I struggled a lot, I mean, to be honest with you, the first year, quite a bit, really hard. And man, when I picked her up at that moment in time, it was like, Daddy, we're free. Like, I'm free, Daddy. Like, we're okay, Daddy. Like, it was for me, it was quite a powerful moment to me. It was that's exactly how I felt.
That is a perfect explanation, because you guys looked free. That is such a great way to give that visual. Yes. She looked free. She like let go. And
you guys both let go together. Sweet. It was a beautiful moment. I think it's a moment nobody will forget.
No,
I don't.
It's so special.
I know we need
so
tissues.
We need tissues. I had a wonderful friend. And there were pictures. The pictures that oh my god.
Yeah, Scott gets ugly cries, but he also gets beautiful dancing.
I mean, Scott Paget. Shout out to Scott. Yes. Seriously, just the most unbelievable, iconic pictures. And so, I mean, I think it's still my profile picture. I think it's still
like it's
been years.
I think so.
I think my Instagram. I think it's still my profile picture. But I mean, we have it up in our house, you know. But I had a great friend. She's an artist, and I didn't know this was coming. And in the mail, out of nowhere, she drew. She did her own personal painting of me, the moment it was when I was twirling her, and I had her like this, and so we have this painting now in up our house too, like just the most unbelievable painting ever. But golly, the amount of memories that came from that, and then everyone thought, that was rehearsed all the way. I said, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was perfect in time for us, for Lily and I. It felt so perfect.
It was
unplanned on anything, and it looked. That's why it looked so perfect. I think to everybody else, truly.
Well, and in production, a lot of times you get nervous and worried when you have a hiccup in the plan, and I don't. I do in one way, but then I'm usually I can usually pick it up and entertain while we're fixing it. But when Derek stepped in, that was like amazing. But I look at what happened that led to you and Lily. And so it was God's moment. It was like, I'm going to take over now and we're going to do this. And it was nothing any of us could have we couldn't have even planned that more perfectly. Absolutely. And then it was like the poor dancers after, we didn't really care about the other celebrities dancers. But then it led to, then after that, we went to the all dance, and Derek was so gracious and taking pictures with everyone. And your group just cutting loose and everyone just having the time of their lives. It was just a beautiful, beautiful time. And it is every year in different ways, right? Every year tells its own story. But that was a beautiful and profound, and I'm so glad that you have even that painting to have it on another level. It's really great. I used that picture when I said that I was going to have you on, and then I have it on the post for today, because that's it is iconic. It is something that will represent.
Yeah, so many fathers came up. That's where I met Drake and Roger from Cowboys for a Cause.
That's right.
Absolutely love those guys. But so many connections were made, and this was the beginning. This is how I knew that this is purposeful. This is deliberate. Like, I need to make this a deliberate purpose in my life at this point, because of the amount of people that came to me. And these were dads again. And I'm going to go back to the feels for men, right? It's harder to do, but these other dads were coming to me, and they were just like in tears, like, oh my gosh, man, like with no words, and there were no emotions exchanged. Like, that's the funny part. It's like no words were exchanged, but it was just this look into and handshakes and hugs from I could just imagine that these men probably have had a lot of struggles in their lives, and to see something like that is kind of the way that I see like other people winning now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They saw us winning, and I think that's what the image was. So many people saw, and so many guys came up to me, and Drake came over and was like, "I've got to meet you. To be able to do something like that. I want you to be a part of what we're doing, and Cowboys for a Cause, and." That led to a couple events that I was able to help support them, because they're doing fantastic, wonderful things too. So.
You knew you had to wear that cowboy hat. It all came full circle. Cowboy hat and boots.
Right? And I'm going to wear it every single year for the rest of the time. Like, I will never stop.
So
it was
cool.
that event, man. That was an incredible evening.
Well, I hate to cut this one short, but we've got a whole nother episode for you next week, because that's not all. We'll be back next week with Ramone and the second half of our interview, sit down with him and hear just more incredible, inspiring stuff from our guy Ramone about Lily and their family. So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.